The fox is a relatively small, slender member of the canine family with a long, bushy tail. It has large ears with excellent hearing that allows it to pinpoint its prey underground, under snow, or even some distance away. Foxes live in dens that are dug in the soil and will quickly move to a new den site if they're disturbed. The fox can run faster than most other animals. It moves and has eyes like a cat and is able to see well at night. And because of these traits, it's hard to see a fox even when a large number of foxes may live close to you. In literature, the fox is often pictured as being sly, clever, and cunning. It hunts at night and occasionally, sometimes during the day, for food. The fox will gather and kill more than it can eat, and will hide it for eating later. It eats smaller animals, insects, fruits, berries. It's known for raiding farms, vineyards, orchards, and garbage cans. And the fox can be quite destructive to vineyards, being a plunderer of ripe grapes, as recorded in Song of Solomon 2:15, where Solomon says, "Catch the foxes for us, the little foxes that spoil the vineyards, for our vineyards are in blossom." When warned by some Pharisees that Herod, the ruler of the Romans, was going to kill him, Jesus said in Luke 13 and verse 32, "To go and tell that fox, behold, I cast out demons and perform cures today and tomorrow, and the third day I finish my course." That fox, here Jesus alludes to the cunning in Herod's endeavor to remove him from the territory, and brushes off the threat of Herod by implying that he had much more important things to do today and tomorrow, and that when ready he will leave. However, in the very next verse, Jesus implies that he must be going on his way that day and the next day, that he is not in the proper time and place for his death, as alluded to by his statement that a prophet should not perish away from Jerusalem. But then if we look at Judges chapter 14 and 15, we see an account of love, betrayal, anger, and how Samson cleverly used the fox to punish the Philistines for what they had done. We pick up our storyline in Judges 14 and verse 19. We find that after being betrayed by his wife when she gave out the solution to his riddle to the Philistines, Samson settled his account with the young men of the wedding party with the ill-gotten garments that he took from 30 men of Ashkelon. Well, still in anger, he went to his father's house to cool off, and after some days, at the time of wheat harvest, Samson went to visit his wife, hoping to see her, but he finds out that her father had instead given her to a friend, a man that we might refer to as the best man. Well, at this point, Samson wants to punish them for taking away his wife, and Judges 15:3 says that Samson said to them, "This time I shall be innocent in regard to the Philistines when I do them harm." Well, here Samson acts like the judge, proclaiming that some harm is going to come to them. But Samson uses the small, quick, fast fox to carry out his deed. First he hunts and he catches 300 foxes. And next he turns them tail to tail and ties a torch between each pair of tails, and then sets fire to the torches, and then he lets the foxes go into the standing grain. But he also sends them into the grain that had been harvested, into the vineyards, and into the gardens of olives that belonged to the Philistines. Now each fox is doing his best to get away from that hot burning torch between the tip of his tail and the other fox's tail. And each fox pair would likely be running in a zigzag pattern, greatly increasing the damage to the fields and to the vineyards. When the Philistines found out, they burned his wife and her father. And here Samson declares that he will be avenged on the Philistines, and then he will quit. And he struck them with a great blow and slaughtered many of them. But the acts of revenge between the Philistines and Samson do not stop there, but continue on. Samson had fallen in love with a Philistine woman, and against the good advice of his father and mother, he married her anyway. Well, her action of betraying her husband, thinking her life would be saved, set off events that took her life away. Well, Samson, in his anger, punished the Philistines for their actions against him, and lost the wife that he loved in doing so. So the lesson that we can see from this is that we always need to do what is pleasing to God, and not seek retribution against those who harm us, those who do evil toward us. And we learn these lessons as illustrated by the fox. Friends, we thank you for joining us for our program today, and have a blessed day.